Sakamoto and Sakamoto are both from an anime called Sakamoto. While this may seem like a confusing sentence, what's even more confusing is the fact that even though they are very different, they are both meant to embody a certain level of perfection, as they are both the pinnacle of what they do, and how they do it is still a mystery to those who know them well. But when it comes down to it, which one of these Sakamotos is truly the best at being the best? We'll be looking at their characters, their stories, and their own feats in universe to determine just who exactly is the superior Sakamoto. In case you didn't know, I'm Inviso, and this is Medianalysis. Here we go. Taro Sakamoto from Sakamoto Days is a former assassin who gave it all up one day when he met his wife at a convenience store, and eventually changed his job from being a hitman to being a shopkeeper. However, even though he put on a lot of weight, don't let that fool you, as he is more than physically capable, and is known all over town for being a somewhat jack-of-all-trades who helps out people in need, using his remarkable abilities to help lives rather than harm them, as he did before. But as for his past, he wasn't just an assassin, he was the assassin. He was dubbed the legendary hitman for a reason. Sakamoto was both revered and feared in the criminal underworld, a man that could secure any kill, no matter the difficulty. He is a hitman so impressive that, at his peak, he was a member of the Order, a secret organization of only the best hitmen. This group is so extraordinary and exclusive that even some of the highest ranked assassins thought the Order was just a myth. With a history as impressive as his, it only makes sense that he is seen as the man, the myth, the legend, the legendary Taro Sakamoto. Sakamoto from Sakamoto Desu Ga is a high school student that excels in everything he does, but not only does he excel, he has a flair for the dramatic and even the most minimal actions he performs. He's stylish in class, he's stylish at lunch, and even when he gets sent out of class to stand in the hall, he is still stylish. He truly does live an overwhelmingly stylish high school lifestyle, and everything he does is cool. He is cooler than those who have came before him, and he truly is the coolest there is. In fact, he is so cool that the intro song for this anime is literally titled Coolest. But just how cool is Sakamoto? Sakamoto is a character that is most notable for doing everything with ease. It is all effortless for him, and as a result, he is typically noted as the most attractive and desirable person in whatever room he's in. You know those people with high school crushes and their crush maybe taps them on the shoulder or gives them a high five, so now whatever part touched them, that person is like, I'll never wash this jacket again, or whatever. That is the type of charm that Sakamoto had. But more on him later. Taro Sakamoto is also no stranger to being popular with women. However, never to the same degree as Sakamoto. But contrary to what some may tell you, getting girls isn't everything. Aside from his usual stoic persona, Taro Sakamoto is also, as I said before, an extremely deadly assassin. In the first episode, he is able to defeat someone who has the ability to read his mind, using nothing but cough drops and slingshots. He takes John Wick's ability of turning anything into a weapon to the most extreme degree, using items like coupons, scratch tickets, pens, and stickers to defeat the overseer of the same organization that created the assassin that can read minds. His physical strength is beyond superhuman, as he's able to chuck a small rock several hundred meters away in order to accurately disarm a sniper by destroying that sniper's entire rifle. He can even deflect mere bullets at point-blank range using nothing but a cough drop. And, with his incredible strength, he can spin a roulette ball around a ring with enough speed and precision to always land on whatever number he needs. However, his own durability is just as impressive, if not greater, than his strength, especially when you consider that he not only went from a drastically hot Inferno-esque room to an ice-cold pool in a matter of minutes, but that he did this on repeat for several times with no issue whatsoever. He's been shot at, stabbed, blown up, and launched off several buildings, but always remains relatively unscathed. Sakamoto, on the other hand, does not possess this ability. In fact, he even admits that he doesn't know how to fight.
So, Sakamoto, you ever learn how to kick some ass?
No.
And gets easily injured by things like metal bats and fists. with a much lower strength and durability in comparison to Taro Sakamoto. How would Sakamoto make up for that, you may be asking? And the answer is with his incredible intellect. Sakamoto, while appearing to be a normal, aloof, and unassuming person on the surface, is actually one who pays a great deal of attention to both himself and his surroundings. He is able to perfectly predict and anticipate the actions of the bullies who try to prank him by always remaining 3 steps ahead at nearly every turn. And, when he can't outthink them, he will simply outstyle them. Sakamoto is actually a master manipulator. He is able to gaslight his teacher into sending him into the hall. He manipulates the owner of a video store into thinking that he is a medical doctor. He manipulates 3 girls at his school to go from fighting over him to becoming best friends with each other by pretending to be possessed by a demonic owl. And when he was framed for an act of vandalism that he didn't commit, he quickly concocted a method to manipulate his accusers into admitting that they were the ones who were truly behind it. And even when he is not in direct conflict with someone, he will manipulate others into thinking he can do impossible things like gliding up the stairs, for example. However, his most powerful ability is being able to bend the laws of physics to his will. This can be seen when he runs along the side of the wall in order to kick a rock, when he builds snowmen, and even when he uses an alligator death barrel roll to snag some bread off a hook. Taro Sakamoto is unable to manipulate his environment or even others in the same way that Sakamoto can do. And in fact, he does have his own limitations. For example, when he needs to play games in a casino, he is unable to succeed at first because he doesn't know any casino games outside of Old Maid. Of course, he is lucky enough to figure out how to improvise and use his superhuman strength to his advantage, but he cannot do things he doesn't already know how to do. While he doesn't possess the same level of emotional intellect and manipulative ability as Sakamoto, Taro Sakamoto is able to apply his skills as a former hitman to almost every scenario he finds himself in, whether they are life-threatening or not. He has extreme precision in everything he does, and is able to adapt and overcome by using what makes him so great. Sakamoto, however, takes this level of precision and turns it all the way up to 11. He is able to sword fight with bees, dodge dust from ceilings while cleaning, and perfectly time his burps so that he is able to pronounce foreign words with a native speaker's dialect. When Sakamoto learns something new, he instantly becomes the best at that thing, even if he had no prior history of even engaging with that thing that he is now the best at. His cool demeanor and seemingly effortless success instantly set him much higher than those around him, to the point where everyone admits that it is quite literally impossible to best Sakamoto. However, we still need to answer the question of who is the best Sakamoto. In terms of who the better person is at tasks, it's Sakamoto, and it's not even close, as he can quite literally do anything that Taro Sakamoto can do, but better in every way if he actually had to do so. But in terms of who the better person is, it would have to be Taro Sakamoto by a long shot. Unlike Sakamoto, Taro doesn't need to rely on tricks, manipulation, and cheating to be a force of nature within his own universe. Usually, Taro Sakamoto is a person that grows, develops, and is able to change for the better, while Taro Sakamoto is an exceptionally extraordinary person in the eyes of extraordinary people. Sakamoto is just an extraordinary person in the eyes of very ordinary people. As to who the better character is between Sakamoto from Sakamoto Desu Ga and Taro Sakamoto from Sakamoto Days, it's hard to pin down exactly who is the better character overall. So I will leave that up to you to decide in the comments down below. Who do you think is the better character? The legendary assassin or the coolest high schooler? I look forward to hearing what you all think. But at the end of the day, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you want to see more of Medianalysis, you can click on the playlist on the right. Or, if you just want to see my most recent video, you can check out this video on the left. However, that's where I'm going to leave off for now. Thank you for staying until the end of the video, and a big thank you to all 1,391 people who bought tickets to the Inviso show. Tell me what you thought about this episode, and what you want to see me talk about next time. But, until that next time arrives, I'm Inviso, and that's all for my spill. Like, comment, hit subscribe. I look forward to when I'll see you next time.